Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Lunch and Learn. We have a great 30 minutes lined up for you, and the topic is learn how you can drive 20% more revenue using two-way texting powered by AI. Before we begin, just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and it will be made available on our community site along with the PowerPoint you see here. As well, if you have any questions for our speaker today, put that into the chat box here and he'll get to it throughout the presentation. And so today is sponsored by Voxi, and we have Bogdan Constantine, CEO and founder of Voxi, here to talk with us. So Bogdan, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. Hey, everyone, I'm Bogdan. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. I really appreciate it. This is a Lunch and Learn. We did send DoorDash gift cards out to everyone. If someone didn't get one and would like one, please just comment in the chat. And we've got a number of folks from the Voxi team that will send one over. So seriously, we've got plenty. So please reach out, just ping in chat, and then someone will want to ping you for your email address and we'll send it right over. So with that, I'm going to dive in. Before I do, just a couple of rules of the road. I hate boring presentations where I'm just talking, especially in Zoom. So if at any point in time you guys have a question, just bring it up in the chat and I'll either grab it or one of our team members will alert me and I'll answer it. Chances are if you've got a question, other folks do as well. Want to make sure we get it answered. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Just as one last FYI, this is being recorded, so we'll follow up with this deck and the recording after the webinar is done. So with that, I'll go ahead and hop in. So like Caitlin mentioned, I'm Bogdan Constantine, founder and CEO of Voxi. Voxi is a business messaging and automation platform, purpose-made for franchise brands. We work with thousands of doors all over the country, helping them connect with their customers where they live, which is two-way texting, helping them learn from their customers, their likes, preferences, using our artificial intelligence product, and then ultimately using those learnings and those connections to monetize that relationship and drive repeat purchase, word of mouth referral, more reviews, etc. So that is fundamentally what we do. And like I mentioned, we are purpose-made for franchise brands. We're privileged and fortunate to work with a variety of franchise brands, everyone from Fabric, Suntan City, Buff City Soap, etc., Massage Heights. We're privileged to work with a great group of customers, helping them both at the franchisor and franchisee level drive more revenues. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop in. As I mentioned, what we do, connect with, learn from, and then ultimately monetize those relationships. I want to talk about the 6 things that we really focus on in the franchise space that help our customers grow. And by the way, Voxi means to grow in Swedish and Norwegian. The thinking there is to continue growing your business, you've got to do local marketing. You've got to engage this customer through texting on that person-to-person, one-to-one level. So with that, the 6 tactics that we kind of focus on, and I'll show you guys an example of today. Then I'll also talk about some of our current customers deploying these tactics and the results they've seen. And then we'll finish up with a quick actual live demo where all of you will get to interact with this on your cell phones and get to actually see what it looks like, feels like for you personally, and what it could look like for your customers. It is these 6 things, right? So it really starts with lifetime value. How do I build the relationship with my customer and automatically bring them back into my store, my restaurant, my massage salon, whatever it may be, right? And what we do is we've got triggers. We integrate with every single ERP, point of sale system, booking system. We've not met one that we don't integrate with. And if we don't, we can spin up an integration very quickly, usually within about under a week to get it going in terms of triggered engagements. So things like, Jeff hasn't been back to my restaurant in over 30 days. Send him a personalized offer, bringing him back in. Secondly, it's confirming appointments and upsell, right? This is more for specialty services, places where you've got some type of appointment that you want to schedule. It might even be for retail, right? In certain parts of the country, we'll send those types of appointment confirmations and then actually upsell directly in that message. Once you've purchased or engaged with that local business, we'll understand how good of an experience you had. And if you had a great experience, we'll drive you to leave a review or automate a referral where we actually solicit and get you to recommend a friend using our artificial intelligence product that joins the VIP text line. And then once a certain amount of your friends have joined, you get an incentive, right? This is a way for you to grow your customer list that doesn't involve paying for Google, Facebook ads, et cetera. A big feature that we do for a lot of our customers is large attendance at grand openings, right? So just having a really large crowd there, and we'll talk about what we're doing with brands like Buff City and others in that domain. And then also increasing operational efficiencies and conversions in general. We've got some pretty innovative products that make it easier for you and your staff. And then ultimately what a lot of our customers have been using us for lately has actually been staffing. So I'll show you guys in the demo at the end of this presentation. It's a two-way product that's driven by AI. A human can hop in at any point in time, but there's no difference from me asking how many children you might have, or your favorite color, or your favorite menu item, and understanding how many years of kitchen experience or how many years of retail experience you've got to qualify you to the next step of a flow. So a lot of our customers have actually been using us to qualify and hire candidates, especially inbound candidates. So we'll talk about those specific flows here quickly. So hopping in, those first 2 points, what you guys are probably used to when it comes to texting is a lot of what I call the peer-to-peer players, right? The folks where somebody on your end is manually texting with the customer and there's back and forth and it's limited, right? I can't send more than 50 to 60 messages at most a day before I get hung up. Voxi's got an automated personalization engine. With the click of a button, you can text 1,000 or up to millions of people and send them the right message that includes personal information, their name, their favorite color, anything you might already know about them. And if they don't respond within X amount of time, they get an automated follow-up. If they do respond and it's part of the engagement, we understand what they said with our AI and then drip them to the next flow, right? So it might be things like, when's a good time for you to come in, right? So confirming an appointment, giving them a link, and then following up if they don't click and book or purchase, right? All of these things, if they don't respond, following up 24 hours later. If you're a carpet cleaning franchise and you haven't seen someone in over 8 months, re-engaging them, right? All automatically. So as part of our process, our team will actually build these flows for you that you push down to your franchisees. And then we basically automate and constantly A/B test those flows. A lot of our use cases are in the sales and marketing arena. And on average, we become a top 3 revenue stream for a franchise business in about 2.5 weeks. Our average monthly return on investment is over 20x. And I'll talk about why here in a second. So those are really the first 2 flows, right? How do I build a relationship and drive more revenue? Once you've bought from me, how do I understand intent? How do I understand that you had a good experience and drive you to a review versus a bad experience and put you in front of a manager? This is a great way to also further segment your customer base. Who's my VIP that loves me versus a neutral or someone that's maybe not as hot on me? I treat them very differently versus someone that had a bad experience that I can hopefully turn around. Our latest product is what we call increasing operational efficiencies, right? So this is our reply to buy product, our shift to text product. So if you've got people calling your store phone for whatever reason and they've been on hold for over 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you want, you can have the number forward to a Voxi number. And as soon as that does, where they're given a prompt, rather than wait on hold, if you'd like instant help via text, or if you'd like to order instantly via text, press 1. We'll text them a link to order. We can answer frequently asked questions in text. If we're integrated with your point of sale system, we can answer basic questions about inventory and things like that, and shift that demand from your store staff, which is likely kind of understaffed right now and taxed, to this AI product, right? But the most important part is the customer doesn't have a bad experience where they're waiting 5, 10, 15 minutes on hold before they get someone at that local store. This has been one of our fastest growing products right now. And it's a great way to grow your Rolodex or your list. A lot of restaurants using it, specialty services companies, using it as well. Kind of that last flow before I hop in and kind of show you guys a little more about inside the product and some case studies is kind of that automation campaign, right? Somebody applies to work for you and they're instantly getting a Voxi text or qualifying them. You can ask their name, you can ask their email, their salary range, whatever is important for you to qualify and figure out if they're going to be the right fit. And at the end of that, you can drive them to come meet with the hiring manager on Saturday at 10 a.m. Send a text to the hiring manager that Anna qualified, and here's a lot of information to call her. Basically, business process automation that will help your local franchisees actually hire faster. You can also use our product to re-engage past applicants. If you have a Rolodex of past applicants, you have a customer that had over 400,000 and they were hiring a call center to manually contact each one, you can mass engage all 400,000 at once with our product, drip, nurture, and very quickly figure out which of those people are still interested in that job, that want to come back to work, and qualify them, salary expectations, are they COVID vaccinated, whatever is important for the business. You can ask those questions, understand and store that, and then drive them to come in, etc. In terms of how we work, we are a fully white glove solution, in that not only do we work with you on strategy setting, but we also work with you to execute, not just on your behalf, but your franchisees. I will jokingly say we understand what it's like in the multi-unit space. My wife owns a franchise in the fitness space, so I very much understand the challenges they're in. And we've built a team that's there to support you and your franchisees. So we'll work with you to build high-level strategy and then execute and allow minute adjustments at the local market level, so your franchisees can execute from your national strategy at the local level to drive the results we're looking for, whether it's sales or operational efficiencies, et cetera. And we do all of this for you and for your franchisees. We have a team that literally, if the franchisee is too busy, will build, copy, schedule the campaigns, and send them out on their behalf. And that's all included in our cost. So as I go deeper, I wanted to just quickly kind of talk about a couple of case studies of how we've been able to help brands. And we wanted to kind of focus on 3 of our customers in different spaces, right? The first is Buff City Soap. They're the fastest growing retail concept in the United States right now. They started at 29 doors. They'll finish at 300 plus with much greater growth in the years ahead that they've already sold. For any of you guys that haven't engaged with them, it's basically handmade soap in local stores all over the country. And we are their top revenue stream right now. They're using us across the funnel. Grand opening, we routinely have hundreds and hundreds of people waiting in line during grand opening, because they've run ads, local market ads, QR codes everywhere, where people are texting in, we're qualifying them and then driving them to that grand opening. From there, we've integrated with all their store systems, so we know what you bought, and we're following up and upselling. On average, we're increasing their average order size by a little over 26%, and all that leading to over 30x ROI every single month that we can attribute, and pretty dramatic average store lift by engaging this customer and getting them to come back over and over again. We've launched a referral program, right, that they're able to drive, that's driving a ton of additional growth, et cetera. So they're using us across the board, but also things like curbside orders. And now we're launching the ability to sell directly in text message. So if you've already bought with me at my store, we're going to be able to sell you directly in text message. And then if you reply with the keyword, we'll build a card and create the order and alert the store staff to go fill it. We call that reply to buy. So trying to remove as much friction from the buyer's journey as possible. Massage Heights is using us, and you'll notice we only text from 10-digit numbers that are callable. So at any point in time as you're texting, you can call the number and it'll route you to the local store. We just had a question. We do service the Canadian market. We service any market where SMS is a prevalent channel. A lot of that has been United States and Canada, but I think this is we are working in Canada. We've got hundreds of customers in Canada presently, and with many more coming from large national chains that have locations there as well. So yes, we're very familiar with the Canadian market, provisioning Canadian phone numbers, all of those different things. Thank you. In terms of Massage Heights, right, I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with them. A little over 120 door massage, high-end wellness spa retreat concept, right? They're using us for operational tasks as well as sales and marketing, whether it's re-engaging folks that hadn't been back and gotten a massage since COVID started, to things like qualifying net new prospects that come in from Facebook ads or Groupon ads, or really any advertisement out there, to confirming appointment reminders and then upselling those reminders, right? So it's not enough for me to just confirm that I'm going to come tomorrow at 3 for an hour massage. What if you also let me know, hey, we've got an extra 30 minutes afterwards. Would you like to elevate that to a 90-minute massage and then add hot stone treatment for X, Y, and Z? And this is automatic, right? So it's a great way to upsell and drive more revenue with just a conditional logic that we set up in the system. So very simple and straightforward. And the last thing has been these hiring flows, right? Everybody's been impacted. So they've been able to deploy our hiring product to qualify net new applicants, to re-engage past employees that maybe quit around COVID and things like that, and get them to come back into the job market and come back and pick up where they left off. So they've seen a ton of success there. So across the board, They're also using us for manual customer service related messages, where if our AI doesn't know how to answer it, we'll route it to a human, and the human can very quickly respond with the click of a button from our conversational templates, or type out the response as well. So we've seen a ton of success there, making it much more frictionless so that folks aren't calling and jamming those phone lines with the short staff. And the last one is YourPie. They've got a little over 70 locations. It's a Italian pizza concept. And what we worked with YourPie on is they didn't understand who their guest was, or fully understand who their guest was, what day of the week was takeout night for them, and how many people they ordered for, and what their favorite menu items were. So we were able to build these immersive interactions where we're asking their past online guests, in-store guests, these types of questions, and then we're able to segment these customers. So I now know that Bogdan has a family of 4, and takeout night for him is Thursdays. So we can, and they love the pepperoni pizzas, right? So we can automate those types of engagements. So every Thursday at 5, Bogdan's getting that message with either a compelling offer or an add-on like ice cream and things like that, right, for his family, so that YourPie can own my share of wallet, whether it's online, delivery, curbside, or in location, right, depending on my comfort level and preference. And they've just seen explosive growth. This 8x was the first month in. What we usually see is it quickly snowballs as we get more and more phone numbers to engage, and it's grown dramatically since then. But again, very, very common use case for us of how do I help you learn more about your customers so we can better segment them and engage them to grow that revenue even more. These are kind of the 3 core use cases I wanted to showcase today, but I think really the proof is in the pudding. So I'd love to kind of do a quick demo where you guys can try this on your own. So we have technology that lets your guests sign up from whether it's your online ordering form, e-commerce website, or in-store QR codes, integration to your point of sale. So long as you're collecting a number, we can text. But an easy way to do this is you can also put up a QR code that says join our VIP text line and get XYZ off your next order. So why don't you guys go ahead and sign up? It's lunchtime. I'm a little hungry, so we're going to do a quick demo like the one you guys just saw for YourPie, but for a company called Wingstop. So you're going to scan this QR code. It's going to pre-populate the body of your cell phone texting app and the phone number, and you just hit send. Eric, can you help how this would help a little more with hiring? This is a huge issue. So some of you guys are going to start flowing in. You're going to start running through the engagement. It's going to ask you your name. And I'll share my screen here in a second, but just to answer your question, Eric, absolutely. So we have the ability to connect to any hiring, almost any hiring product out there. So if somebody's applying on Indeed or ZipRecruiter or LinkedIn, or heck, just applying through a standard form on your website, if you're getting a phone number, we can text them within 30 seconds of application, and we can put them through whatever flow you want, right? Whether it's before you even look at their resume, asking things like very important qualifying questions. Do you have a vaccine for COVID? Can you pass a background check? All of these basic questions that would waste your time. We can ask salary expectations, and any data point we ask, Eric, like, what's your hourly rate or how many years of experience you have. When they respond, we can pull it out, append it to their profile, and let you segment it. Show me everyone who, wants $12 or less an hour and has 3+ years of kitchen experience, right? And here's my pool of those applicants. Maybe I can, and then I can drive them to come into my store to do an in-person interview, et cetera. But literally, as you guys are doing these demos and you're going through it, imagine a very similar experience for a recruiting flow, right? Whether it's uploading your past list of applicants or putting these QR codes online, or just a link, right, that says click here to text with the hiring manager today on social and things like that, right? So there's a variety of different playbooks that our customers are deploying. So Eric, if you want to either private message me or and your email address, I'll send you a couple case studies on that, and I'll also include them in the follow-up that I send to everyone else if anyone else is interested in the hiring flows. But basically, we've got a variety of different insertion points where you can bring in applicants or re-engage people that maybe have applied for you with your business in the past, and then we can very quickly qualify who doesn't have a job, that's interested in working for you, that might have X, Y, and Z, characteristics. Kevin just asked, this looks fantastic after customers' preferences of how they prefer to receive their communications. Would a brand new customer to Voxi be able to match the preferences previously shared within the Voxi system? Absolutely, right? So we could absolutely do that, Kevin, to the point where we'd share that across different disparate systems. We use real-time APIs, so we can push data anywhere you want it to go, so that it doesn't just stay within Voxi. We believe it needs to go back into other data streams if you need it, right? to leverage, or vice versa. So as you guys are going through this right now, you're engaging, go back and forth, respond, click the links, and you'll get the follow-ups. Sean and Eric, I'll send you guys more on the hiring workflows. I'll just include it in this deck if that makes more sense when we send it out to everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and share our message hub where you guys are all going through your flows and campaigns right now. So a lot of you guys came in as anonymous, and now you're seeing that I'm adding a first name to you, right? I'm appending more information to your profile. I'm learning how many people you're ordering for. And I'm just going to skip ahead to Connor and Nate, right? Who said 4 people, and we picked up family size 4. So now I can filter, show me everyone whose first name starts with an N, who's feeding 4+ people, that hasn't been into my restaurant within 30 days, 60 days, whatever, and automatically send them something. We build those workflows and those campaigns. We'll work with you and your franchisees to figure out what the offers are, all these different things. But we have what we call our conversational playbooks that we can help you deploy based on what the needs of the business are. I need to re-engage my past customers. I need net new customers because COVID decimated them. Whatever it may be, we've got playbooks across our thousands of doors that we work with nationwide that work really well, that we can quickly bring as templates into your system, make sure that they're on brand. We've got the right imagery, the right, all of that. And you can send anything from a GIF, an emoji, a PDF, right? Even video files in these texts. And we'll work with you to build really immersive experiences that drive ultimately revenue. What questions? I'm sorry, I just lost the chat feature. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm sorry about that, guys, and see if what other questions you guys are asking. Perfect. What other questions do you guys have, if any, as you're going through these flows? So any of this data, when you respond, we're storing it. We're pulling out things like what you tell me, you know, how the company did, et cetera, right? All these different things we're learning and storing, so you can filter. Show me everyone who feeds a family of 4 and gave me a 5 out of 5 stars, right, for the restaurant experience. We treat them very differently. The system automatically tags them as a promoter, right? And we can treat them very differently. You can give them different incentives. You can engage them completely differently than someone that maybe had a 3 out of 5 stars and has a family of 10. We want to aggressively try to re-earn their business, right, to get that 3 to a 5 and things like that as well. So as you guys are going through this, the platform is accessible via phone app, via web app, tablet, whatever. And each and every individual that logs in has their own login. So you always know who said what, and you have full transparency. You have admin rights. If you have multiple franchisees, you have a different view, so you can actually see how all of your franchisees are doing in aggregate, right? So you can see who's the best performer, who's got the best engagement, who's driving the most revenue. So you guys have specific franchisor dashboards, and then your franchisees have a more localized instance where they can engage. They have a message hub, they can schedule campaigns, conversational flows, things like that as well. And all that data ultimately flows back to you as the franchisor as well. By the way, you're probably wondering what is cost. So we don't feature gate based on specific things. It starts at $59 per month per store, and it goes up from there. We also have volume discounts and things like that as well. We don't have a single customer that has less than a 10x ROI that we can quantitatively prove. It's the big thing. Everything we're going to do is going to be tied to return on investment, right? Ultimately, you're buying us to grow. Yes, there's operational efficiencies and things like that, but ROI is the key thing we want to showcase. That's why we integrate with point of sale, so I can prove that I did X, Y, and Z, and it drove A, B, and C. Kevin, do you find that customer engagement varies by generational age? If so, what insight can you share? Yes, it does. You might be shocked to find out. So our average response rate's a little over 50% across all of our customers. It actually is over 70% in the 40+ crowd. And we see a really high click-through rate across the board of the mid 30%. If it's a personalized message, we've seen it get up to 90%. That shift to text product, if I'm shifting you to order online and you've been on hold trying to place an order, has on average a 93% click-through rate. But engagement is not necessarily going to dramatically vary. We do see that the younger demo loves it, and then that over 40 demo also engages very heavily with it. And the reason for it is, as you can see, 10-digit number that you can call at any point in time, and it routes you to that local store, and there's a persona, the store manager, the owner of the franchise, whatever, right? So it looks and feels like a human, and at any point in time, a human can hop in. The other interesting thing to your point, Kevin, our unsubscribe rate in aggregate across all of our brands is less than 1.2%. So this is really compelling, and it doesn't feel or look like spam because of the two-way and the fact that we can ask those questions to understand the customer better and then personalize what they get next. Awesome. Thank you for the question. I would say that the places where we see the most immediate uptick is Voxi can legally text past customers. If you have phone numbers, whether at the brand corporate level or at the franchisee level, because they've got a prior existing business relationship, you can't buy cell phones off the street. But if someone's given you their cell phone and they were a previous customer or a lead or an applicant, you can legally engage them with Voxi. We're not considered an automated telephone dialing system according to the FCC, and we'll indemnify you against that. So because of that, you can legally engage your past customers and very quickly drive ROI. So some of our fastest growing customers had Rolodexes of past customers, leads, whatever, that they were able to very quickly engage and get them coming back in the door, buying from them again. And then obviously we hook into net new and we start, getting new phone numbers from your existing customer or your leads that are coming in, right? The most important thing that we need for Voxi to succeed is phone numbers. And often our most successful customers are ones that have about 100 or more. They can very quickly see an ROI, usually within a couple of days, is how pervasive the system is, because with a few clicks of a button, you can automate all these engagements that look and feel human. But really, like if you're looking for, I know obviously everybody's taxed right now with hiring, but if you want to re-engage past applicants, that's a huge one. If you've got a past list of any kind, whether it's applicants or customers, you'll see ROI and return almost instantly. I'd say within 24 hours. We also have an ROI guarantee. So if you don't see at least 5x ROI within the first 30 days of working with us, you won't pay anything. And we stand by that. We've never had that obviously happen. The last thing I wanted to talk about briefly is we have a quick IFA offer. We're proud members of IFA. Thank you guys for attending today. If you're interested and you want to sign up, we have a completely risk-free, no obligation, free pilot. We'll work with you to outline a couple of stores in your system that makes sense to try it out. And if you sign up by September 30th, it's a completely free pilot. They'll graduate before the holiday season starts, and they'll see pretty dramatic results. It's to the point now where our customers are writing us into the FDD because we're such an instrumental part of their revenue gains in the network, and that's been happening pretty routinely. So we'd love an opportunity to show you how we can help. And again, not just sales and marketing, that's a big part of it, but really business messaging and automation, right? How do I streamline and give my customers a better experience that is consistent, that is repeatable, and it is delightful? And that's what we'll work with you to build. And we have the expertise and know how to do that. I think I'm at time. So with that, would love to answer any other questions you guys might have. And if not, I'll turn it over to Caitlin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bogdan. Yes, this PowerPoint with all of that will be available on our community site. So please take their information and reach out if you have any more questions. Voxi, Bogdan, thank you guys so much again for your time today and for your constant support of IFA. Everybody who attended today, thank you so much. We appreciate your attendance and your interactivity, which is not the word I'm looking for, but that's what came out. So
that was perfect.
All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Really
Bye.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Oh, and Eric, if you email me, KRUSSELL@franchise.org, I can send you the link as well. All right, thank you guys so much. Bye.
Thanks, guys.